Hi, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about imaginary numbers and complex solutions within quadratic equations. Wow, that's a lot. To start off, we have an example over here, the square root of negative 25. Okay, so generally whenever we do the square root of a negative value, we say here no real solutions. And the reason why we say no real solutions is because this isn't a real number. We're going to be saying something called an imaginary number or an imaginary unit. And the letter to describe an imaginary number is just the letter I. So every time you see this unit, you want to think about the square root of -1. All right. So let's go ahead and solve this. We have the square root of -25. We know that the square root of 25 is just plus or minus 5, right? But in this case, we have a -25. So what I'm going to be doing first is taking out a -1. And if we were to do that, I'm going to take out, oops, I'll do a different color. We're going to take out the I because I represents the square root of -1, and the square root of -1 times the square root of 25 is going to give us the square root of -25. So I'm going to take that out first, okay? So the square root of -25 is the same thing as the square root of -1 times the square root of 25. And now we know that instead of writing the square root of -1, we're going to say I root 25. And we know what the square root of 25 is. It's just going to be 5. But we still have that I. So your solution here is 5i. Let's try B. So for B, we have the square root of -72. This is going to be the same thing as the square root of -1 times the square root of 72. We can now convert this square root of -1 to I. And then let's go ahead and simplify this square root of 72. So 72, you want to think of what is a perfect square that can be multiplied into 72. And I know that half of 72 is 36, and 36 so happens to be a perfect square. So I have 36 and 2, which is just 6 and 6, right? So I'm going to move this over. Let's actually make this smaller. Right over here. So now I'm going to say that I times the square root of 36 times the square root of 2. Well, I times 6 times the square root of 2. And so we have I and 6 together. So now it's just going to be 6i root 2. And that is your solution. Yeah, that's okay. All right, the last one here is just going to be the square root, -5 times the square root of -9, or -5 root square root of 9. Okay, so let's go ahead and just break this up again. So we have -5 times the square root of 9, the square root of -9, which is the same thing as -5 times the square root of -1 times the square root of 9. So notice here how I'm changing the -9 into two separate parts. The square root of -1 times the square root of 9. And then lastly, we know that -1, the square root of -1 is the same thing as I. So now this is -5 times I times the square root of 9, and the square root of 9 is just 3. Weird. And then this is going to be just times 3. And now let's just multiply this all out together. -5 times 3 is -15. And then we have our I left over. So your solution is -15i. And that's all you have to do. Okay, bye.